What's up, Star Wars fans? I want to talk about the hidden secret behind Kanan becoming a Jedi Knight. That's right, during Star Wars Rebels Season 2, Episode 18, Shroud of Darkness, Kanan is knighted by what looks like the former Inquisitor. But exactly who is behind this vision? Is it the Grand Inquisitor or somebody else? I'm going to explain this in this video, but first, if you love Star Wars and speculation, then hit that subscribe button and come back again soon for more. But getting back on track here, at the beginning of Episode 18, Shroud of Darkness, Kanan and Ezra Bridger once again come into conflict with the Inquisitors. And seeking answers on how they can defeat the Sith as well as the Inquisitors, Kanan and Ezra consult with Ahsoka Tano, and they decide as a group that they're going to go to the Jedi Temple on Lothal searching for answers, more specifically how they can defeat the Inquisitors and the Sith. Now both Ezra and Ahsoka Tano have their own visions, but probably the most interesting vision out of all three is the detailed vision that Kanan has. Kanan's vision places him inside a lightsaber training room with a Jedi Temple guard, and that guard has a very somber message for Kanan stating that his apprentice Ezra Bridger is being pulled to the dark side and must be destroyed. And when Kanan hears this, he ignites his lightsaber in defense of his apprentice Ezra Bridger. And after a brief fight, the Jedi Temple guard continues with his dialogue stating that Kanan will never be strong enough to protect his pupil. And then two more Temple Guard join the fight against Kanan and he is defeated in short order. And in his defeat, Kanan comes to realize that he can't control Ezra, he can't prevent him from falling to the dark side, all he can do is train him the best that he knows how. Now it's at this point that the Temple Guard that's been in conversation with Kanan actually knights him, and it's revealed that this Temple Guard was actually the Grand Inquisitor from Season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. But that's certainly not the secret behind this vision. You see, as the former Inquisitor is knighting Kanan, he states by the Council and the will of the Force, Kanan is now a Jedi Knight. And there's only two individuals still around that were part of the Jedi Council, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda. And we know during this episode that Yoda is actually talking to Ezra Bridger, and he makes himself seen to Ahsoka Tano as she's leaving the Jedi Temple. So it makes a lot of sense that it was actually Yoda that was the one behind this vision. It wasn't simply the Force or the former Grand Inquisitor as a Jedi, it was Yoda. Yoda was the one that knighted Kanan. He was the one that provided this lesson for Kanan, and knowing where Ezra is going to go at the end of Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels and the beginning of Season 3, this is exactly what Kanan needed to know. Now all that said, you might not be able to follow me connecting the dots here and figuring that this is Yoda, so let me just say that Henry Gilroy, an executive producer of Star Wars Rebels, actually confirmed this on Rebels Recon. He stated that ultimately the visions in the temple were a means of communication for Yoda, and that they're a means of teaching these young Jedi. But that's not all, there's also a great hidden message behind the knighting of Kanan. You see, I absolutely love the fact that during this fight, Kanan picks up a red lightsaber when facing off against all three of the Temple Guard, because Kanan has been trying to control his young Padawan. He knows in his heart that Ezra has drawn on the dark side and that he is at risk of falling to the dark side. And so he has been trying to control Ezra, make sure that he doesn't fall to the dark side, but in doing so, Kanan himself is drawing on the dark side because of course he is fighting out of fear, trying to protect Ezra because he is afraid he will fall to the dark side. And we all know that fear can lead us down a dark path, which is represented in this moment as that red lightsaber. Despite the fact that Kanan is trying to do a good thing for Ezra, stop him from falling to the dark side, he ultimately can't control his young Padawan, and this is the realization that he comes to at the end of the fight. All he can do is teach Ezra the best he knows how, and ultimately it's going to be Ezra's choice to embrace the dark side. And this is such an important Star Wars lesson and why I love this scene so much. You see, in real life, we often try and control others, but ultimately all we can do is tell them how we feel, and in some instances set up structure for younger people, but ultimately it's their choice to make good or bad decisions. We can't actually actually control them. And by being afraid that they are going to make bad decisions, or that they are in fact making bad decisions, that can lead people to be fearful and angry at that person, pushing them further away and making it more likely that they're going to make bad choices. So ultimately, it's Yoda that's behind this vision for Kanan Jarrus, and he certainly gives Kanan the lesson that he needs, and Dave Filoni and the crew behind Star Wars Rebels certainly give us a lesson when it comes to living our life on the light side of the Force. At least that's how I see it, Star Wars fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I'm Mike, and remember, the Force will be with you always.